So you can join now. You cannot minimize Zoom when. Okay. Okay, so now from here, we want to know how much each salesperson made from this region, right? So you click on the row and you come to your so what we want is to use the sales people as our sample. So we highlight the rep and bring it back to the row. And this one give us that demarcation, right? Or that further summary over here. You can see that. So now, so looking at that, you can see that Ghana is a western region. Darren is a central region. Darren again, a person from central and eastern region, right? And Holly is a sole person from central and in, right? If you want to further summarize your data or understand this point of view. Now, come to the first, knowing the sales people. You want to know how much either one sales person, right? Meaning your data. So in sorting your data, you come to this over here. Now, which person are you interested in? Right, so you can come here, you will highlight let's you click everything will be highlighted. So now we are only interested in how much mic. So you highlight mic. Okay. Now see that makes sales from central region, eastern region, and the western region as well. Because we are only interested in Mike's data. And in central region, Mike made a sale of $625. In eastern, he made sales of $1,919. And in western, he made sales of $1,283, right, from only Mike. So how do I remove this, the filter from my table? You click here again, and you click here again, you come to the highlight, or possibly you just click on Ctrl+Z, right? And it will take you back to your data. Now over here, we can also sort our data from here. From the Z to A means from the largest to the smallest. So we will know who made the most sales and who made the less sales. So from Z to A. So from Z to A, we can see that Toad from the central region made the made 1,999, and Cathy made 2,812 over here, right? So when we come to the sum total over here, now we want to convert this into a table, right? We want to convert this into a table, so we can sort from. Okay, I think this already in a table. So this already in a table. Other than that, you must highlight everything and you convert everything into a table over here. Now let's add another pivot table from here, from our data, to enhance our understanding. So I want one person to help us know the number of items we have, the total number of items we have, using the either unique function, the remove duplicates, or the pivot table to know the total number of items that were sold over here, using the pivot table. So I'll first create the pivot table, and one will walk us through if what we have in the pivot table is true or not. So you highlight any part of the data, you come to your pivot table over here. Then I want to add my data model, and I want to take it to a new sheet. Now here I am. I am interested in the total number of items we have. So I'll look for the item column here and drag it to the row. So now these are the items we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 items. To know that this is true, can somebody help us using either the unique or the remove duplicate function to achieve this? Please, can somebody help us?
Yeah, I can be of help.
Okay, all right.
So we can either use the unique or the remove duplicates. So with the unique, you always put up your equal to sign.
Equal to sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you type in unique.
Okay.
Unique. Yeah. Then you select the items.
Items.
Yeah, the items excluding. Then you close the brackets.
Okay. Okay.
Then you press enter.
Enter. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Meaning using our pivot table, the unique function, right? So now we don't even worry ourselves using the duplicate. Okay, so let's try the duplicate. If somebody can also help us here to understand, we're all on the same page. So now I've copied the entire range. We have copied the entire range, and let me paste it here. So can one also help us to remove all the duplicates here to get the exact items we have in our data?
So as it has been highlighted, you go to the data.
Okay.
Data from the ribbon. Then you go to remove duplicates.
Remove duplicate.
Yes. Then you press OK.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I think it's also giving us the same list of items, right? So meaning that using our pivot table here worked for us. So we want to know how much sale we made from each item, right? Or even to know the quantities that were sold. So in this case, we are not going to use the we can use the total and the quantity sold. So to know the
Okay.
the sum total and the quantity sold, we come to our values because we are going to use quantitative data, right? So you come to your values and you look for the units. So the units sold will come here. So now we can see that from our list of items, the vendor 722 were sold, 10 decks were sold, 278 were sold, and 395 were sold from the pen set and pencil 716. So to know the total that each of the item were sold for, then we also select the total to we select the total and we drag it down to the values, right? And now we have our total here and we have our unit over here. So now, how do I change the position of this? Please always be careful when you are dragging it right over here. When you are dragging it over here, it follows in order. So you can see that the sum total is first here. I should have taken it down, but mine, it's looking small over here. I'm coming. Let me try and bring this one down. Let me remove this, the total, and bring the total back down to, no, not here. Yes, over here. All right, so you can see that the position has changed over here. At first, the sum total was first here, and the unit was second here, right? So the problem is coming from over under the values, because it follows the order here. So this what we have here. So from the vendor that was sold, this is the total sales with total amount we made, and it follows in order. So if you want to add more summary to your data, we add slices to this, right? We add slices to this from the insert tab. So you come to the insert tab and you add what we call slices. So you highlight any part of the data and you click on slices. And this slices is going to give you the list of the columns in your data. So you select the only column that will help you in your in going through your data, right? So I need my items over here, and maybe I need the region. But in this case, we didn't use the region over here, so we are using only the item. So we click on OK, and we have list of items over here. So when you look at the top here, this is to give you further template to design your slicer, right? Depending on how you want it to look, right? You design your slicer from this. So now if I want to look for only pen, I only click on my slicer. Pencil, I only click on my slicer. Desk, I only click on my slicer, and it's working for me perfectly here. If I want to take the slicer out, you come top here and you remove it from here. Let's add it to the other pivot table. You click anywhere in the, okay, please, you have a question. You can ask.
Please, my question is about the filter. When you're using the filter, I didn't get it to the filter on the pivot table.
The pivot table.
The filter, yeah, the filters.
Okay, so the slicer is used to filter your data, depending on what you are looking for. So maybe in the data, look at the list of the items, and you want to only look at the that we make from the pen, or we make from pen sets. So on it, and it will give us the pen and cost and sum total. You have a large data set like this. So let's come to our data. Let's come to our main data here. And over here, you can see that you can't just use at a glance, see anything in the data, right? And this is a small pivot table we have. So we are using our big table over here. Let's select any part of your data and go to insert. So we are adding a pivot table to our large data set. We are using the item over here. So we have pivot table here. We want to look at pen in our data. We click on pen, and now you can see that we made a from western region, eastern region again, and central region. Right. So the slicer will filter anything in our data except the pen item only. Are you true now? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I want to remove filter. Just click on this one. You clear it from here, and you come back to where the data was, right? So let's come to the, we want to filter this data using a slicer, right? You come to the insert, you come to over here. And now, what do we want to use to filter our data? Maybe in this case, we don't want to use the item. We want to use the reps. We want to use the reps over here. And we click on and this will give us the list of all the sales, right? So if we want to look for only Dinah, we click on Dinah. If we want to look for only James, we click on James. So you must first clear the field over here before you can use more than one slicer at the same time in order to understand your data better. So let's click in part of the data and click on insert again and add a slicer. So we want to also add the region parts over here.
You add a region, another rep.
I added another, sorry. Okay, come to insert again and you add a slicer and the region. Okay, you highlight the region and now you have your region over here, right? So I can click on Easton and click on James. So now I'm looking at only East and James. If only we have all the list of the salespeople in all the regions, right? So I'm looking for what is in Eastern region and who are in Eastern region, right? And in this case, I'm only looking for James. But if I clear filter from James over here, I may get all the people from Eastern region because I'm only looking at Eastern region. So those salespeople will be displayed over here. And if I want to clear that too, I clear it from here. Please, does anyone have a question with regards to the pivot table and adding a slicer to filter our data?
So I have this question. So if you remove the filter from the slicer, are you going? Can you activate it again?
Can you
Activate the filter again?
yeah. So if you remove it, you can still activate it again, right? So you can see it is changing. Right. If I need for west, it comes. If I need for central, it comes. If I need for eastern, it comes. Is the question answered? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, the question. Yeah, it answered.
Okay. All right. So now, knowing how to add, knowing how to use pivot table, this basic pivot table, right? Let's try and add visualization to this data. So let's start from the first one. So from the first one, we are only looking at the central region. So we come to insert, we come to recommended charts. We come to recommended charts. So in central region, this for the entire data. So since we have the subqueries over here, we want to visualize this data. So first, as beginners, we are going to use the recommended table, recommended charts. Then we figure out how we can do it on our own. So you click on recommended chart and it will give us something like this. Now, do we want to use column chart over here, looking at our data? Is it fitting? Is it matching it correctly? Now, if we come to line chart over here, this is what we are going to see. Do you understand it using it this way? Can you interpret it? If you can't interpret it, you use the bar chart, right? Which is very simple to always interpret, simple to always understand. So this is the bar chart for us over here. So from here, we have the sum total, we have the region, and we have the reps. Because we've added a subquery, that's why now we can scroll to the left and come back to the right? So adding a visualization to your pivot table is always interesting, right? It's always interesting. But for the first start, I just want us to start from the beginner friendly, then we move to this advanced way of adding visualization to your. So now let me add this. Come here. Let me remove this from here. Come back. I want us to just create for just one, and we look at how to visualize it from the basic level to this advanced function. So we are looking at the reps, and we are looking at the total each made from the shops over here. Okay, so now I want to visualize this on a graph, right? So simply come to insert and come to recommended charts. Now from recommended charts, I want to use a bar chart or bar graph over here. I click on OK. So you can see that from here, we are looking at the reps here, and we are looking at the sum total over here. So this is nicely displayed for us. So how do we understand this visualization? How do we explain this visualization? So close this pivot table chart over here, and now click on this plus sign. If you click on this plus sign, you want to add data labels, right? To further enhance the understanding of your data. But if you add this data label, you ask yourself, is it fitting? If it fits, then that's super great for you, right? But if not fitting, you just remove the data labels. Now you can remove the legend over here, or you can add the legend over here. So this legend is always used when you are using more than one or two criteria or colors. So this legend will give you the indication that, okay, this blue color is for A and that green color is for B. But if you are dealing with just one color called monocolor, we just deactivate this always, right? And remove the grid lines, because often your grid lines will distract your interpretation. So you take your grid lines out from any visualization first. Now, if you need a data table to further enhance your analysis over here, but this looks clustered in a way, so it is not advisable to add your data table. To avoid that, you remove it. Now, let's come to the data labels. These data labels will give you an amount of each data bar, and this further enhances your interpretation or your analysis without stretching your neck to know which one is the biggest or which one is the smallest, longest or the shortest. The data labels here will give you the clear indication of whatever you need, right? So now if you've given a data label, then this the data chart title over here is just to name your visualization. So this visualization is okay, so reps sum total, so reps sum total over here. However you want to name it, and you can give it a nice color. If you don't need colors, you just remove the color, and I think this one is cool for you, however you want to name it, right? So let me come here again, and now I think this is the only thing I need. I don't need it. So if you want to add the others, you can also add the others over here. But if you don't need the others from this visualization, we don't need the others, right? So remove the others over here, and this others title, remove the others title over here. So this one is clear for us because we've added a data labels, which is giving us clear indication of the sum amount each salesperson made, and that's fine. So you can come here to further enhance your visualization if you so wish, please, if you so wish. So you come here to add more visuals to your data. But to me, I always advise that you don't even go and add any caricature thing to your visualization, right? Looking at this, it looks super great. And please, any visualization you go for, it comes with its own features, right? You do all, and you remove the part that you are not interested. So we want to remove the others down here because we already have our data labels here, which is okay for us. So remove the others, that's whatever being found over here at the bottom, we take them off, right? We take them off. So now you can see that in this analysis, since we are getting a button over here, we don't want to even bring the names of the salespeople over here, right? But if we want to deactivate this button, then we can bring the names of the salespeople over here to know that, okay, this is for this person, this is for that person. So you can see our visualization here is very interactive, that if you put the mouse cursor on it, it is giving you a display of the person. You can see that this one is for James over here. So if you can look beneath it, you can see sum total value 3,995 and category Cathy, right? So what I do is I copy this data, Control plus C, and I come to my PowerPoint. I come to my PowerPoint. I'll paste it here in my PowerPoint. Then I remove this from it. I remove this from it. So what I want to do is to further enhance the visualization of my data, right? So to further enhance the visualization of my data, and over here, I can glue the width of my data here, my data labels, if I want to make it look tiny or slimmer. But if I want it to become very big like this, I use the gap width over here, and I can use the series overlap over here. So this series overlap is when you are using 2 or more data values for interpretation, right? And I can come here and I can glue my visualization, which will make it look different from what Excel will give me. How transparent it should look. And we come to glow. And if you want to add anything, any other extra thing here, so it will give me that back shading color, right? So always the visualization you provide should be entirely different from all the analysis, from all the visualization Excel will give you, right? So why am I giving this indication? I'm giving this indication if provided I want to only highlight the sale person that made the most sales, right? So you can see that this bar is standing out from the entire bar that we have. The entire bar that we have. So supposing, okay, so this wasn't the highest one. So let me use the highest amount to do that indication. So I want to look at the size. Okay, so let me look at the size. Oh. Let me look at just one. Only this. Only this. Yeah. So I'm adding a shadow to this because I want these two bars to look different from the entire bar, because the focus of the analysis is to look at maybe the first two people that made the most sales, right? So I've done for the first one, the second one over here. So I can add a color that will make it unique. That will make it unique. All right, that will make it unique over here. So the distance, this is from how you would want it to be, right? And the angle, and then I think it's cool. It's cool now. Just for an explanation. And okay, now I can go ahead and change this color. That will make it different from the entire. Okay, is this cool? Red, 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 red. Okay, maybe. All right. I'm not good at colors. So now I want this one to stand out because I want this to look different from the entire labels, right? To indicate that, okay, this person made the most sales, which is what Cathy. And I don't want to bring the names here because I want to enhance my visualization. I want to tell a good data story. And any bar that you put the mouse on, it is giving you indication of the person, the sum total that the person made. So you could see that where the mouse is telling that this is for Tadden, and he made 2,484 sales over here. So if I want to make this one bigger, yes, there's it. Right. So now, if I want to write a report on this, right, this would have been advisable. We added the names over here, right? So we will do that where the names will display over here. So I'll come here and export. I can export it to PDF, but I want to export it as a picture. So please, you come down here, you look for JPEG. This one, please, JPEG. Look for JPEG or PNG. Then you save it. Where do you want to save this document? So let me take it to my desktop and save it there. Or slice. Okay. So this will come in the form of a folder, right? You open it. Then here we are. Boom, as a picture, right? As a picture over here. So it looks nice, pretty. If you want it, and anything you want to do with this, you can share. And you can see you will not get anything like this in Excel. right? So we use the SL and PPT to this magic, but now we are going to concentrate more on SL to do something similar like this. So please, if you have any question with regards to the data storytelling, you let me know. Hello.
We can continue.
Okay. So now I have added the answers over here, right? So we can see our names over here. So how do I use the SL to do something similar like this? And now when you double click on your visualization, it is going to give you a display of this similar to what we did in PPT, right? So I'll come here and look at the size because I'm only concentrated with the Cathy fields he made, right? And now I can do my weight. Over here to be bigger. I'll come here to fill this. So I'm using a gradient color here. So Cathy will stand out over here. So I can look at the gradient here. I can look at my second sale person that made the most sales, and I also change the color for him, right? So over here I can choose to also use something like this. Something over here. Oh, no. Color somewhere. This color, this color is this color. Okay. All right. So now we have our visualization over here. We have our visualization over here. Nicely. So you come here, you save as a picture. You save as a picture. You come to desktop and you save as 11. We come back. So let's come to our now. There's it, right? There's it. It looks nice over here. Now we can see the list of the salespeople and the amount. So now if you have any question, we have like 1 minute. Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if anybody has a question, you can ask.